Hi friends, it's Amanda Mae of Ardith Design. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm so happy that you came to spend some time with me today in my home. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. And this is Luna Moon. She's a love. She's my little love. And we are getting ready and set for Halloween. I did a home tour for my last video where I showed you a lot of my cross stitches as well as just my general thrift finds and crafts and stuff. And I am excited to start decorating for Christmas. So there's a bunch of memes going around social media right now where it's like, I take the kids out for trick-or-treating, but I know what happens the next day. And then it's Christmas music comes on and people are putting up Christmas. Well, I am that person. So I'm going to be enjoying this today and tomorrow. And then Friday, it's all coming down. I'm going to clean and then the magic starts for holiday time. I am a big believer in twinkle lights. This time of year, it gets kind of dark and dreary and it can be a little sad and lonely. And I feel like twinkle lights are the key to keeping me like upbeat and, and positive and just, you know, keep moving forward. So I have today, my whole table here, this is my breakfast table. It's completely covered in cross stitch. I have WIPS, I have finishes, and then I have some plans of what I want to start stitching. It's all over the table. There's no rhyme or reason. I just knew that I needed to film today, and if I didn't film today, it wasn't going to happen. And I just couldn't have that. So please bear with me in my disorganization. For what I lack in organization today, I hope to make up for in enthusiasm and just my love of cross stitch. So in case you're wondering, I am wearing a deviled egg headband that I made. It's got the little devil horns and it's got a little egg. I was a deviled egg for Halloween. There were events like school events and stuff, so we dressed up already. I might be dressing up again as a deviled egg tomorrow for Halloween, or I might dress up as a whoopee cushion. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens. I did my daughter's costume here, my costume here, my son's costume is another spot. I'm going to insert some video and some pictures of their costumes so you can see. This time of year, I love making costumes. I think the theater kid in me comes out and I just love it so much. So my daughter won best costume. She was one of 6 of the winners at the whole school to win for best costume. And I made her this headdress. I swear I'm gonna get to cross stitch, but I just want to show you a couple crafty things first. I made her this headdress for, she wanted to be at first it was gonna be a fallen angel because deviled egg, so devil angels. My son was the devil among us, which is an alien character from like a game like Imposter and Sus, like your suspect. So he was the angel or devil among us, deviled egg, and then she was going to be an angel, but then she decided she wanted to be like a moon goddess. So I did a bunch of research and decided to make her something like this. Originally, I bought her just this headband to make a headpiece for, but I realized it was going to be too heavy and she wanted lights. So I needed something to make for lights. So from my theater days, I knew how to make headdresses. So that's what I went with. So I made a headdress for my son for Among Us. The school requirement is you cannot have masks, but you can wear hats. So I made a hat thing for him and a hat for her. And I wanted to show you. So what I did was I hid in a clear box here. I hid the battery pack. It's got the batteries and then you turn it on and then close it up and then the clouds cover the box. So this is what I did. I used zip ties. I used foam, 2 pieces of foam. I used white glitter, gold glitter. I used craft foam here and cut out the stars on both sides. And then this is polyfill stuffing. I have it to stuff for my smalls when I finish for my cross stitch smalls, like into pillows. you can use, you know, fiberfill for stuffed animals or for pillows themselves. So that's what I did, and I flocked it and did that. I used pieces from Floral Picks. I took out, glued them down. I used craft pearls and craft rhinestones. And this is the effect. And then I have the lights in the clouds, and then I also strung the lights up here, and it's got 2 AA batteries. So this was so successful, and my kids are already planning their costumes for next year, and both of them want lights this year. Only my daughter had lights this year, and my son said that just will not do. So he has decided that he wants to win the costume contest. She won it, and he was, you know, not happy. I'll show you. We've been talking to the kids about being grateful, and that it's not just about winning. It's about the whole thing and participating, and that showing up matters. And it's not about the ribbons. Yes, it's great. Yes, the trophies are great, but 90% of life is just showing up. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. He would not have won the costume contest had he not participated. He didn't win, and he did participate. Well, you know what? He participated. He gave it his best shot. And that's what I said. You have to honor that. So we've been really working on and struggling with that. And with that in mind, the idea of just showing up, I'm here today to talk about cross stitch. I'm here. I showed up. So let's start with some finishes, and I'm going to show you my new published design that is in Just Cross Stitch magazine this year, which this Christmas issue. I have been submitting to Just Cross Stitch since 2019. I won one of their ornament contests. I did Destination North Pole Earth and won their contest, and then that really encouraged me to keep submitting and applying. I don't submit for every issue. I've picked and chosen which ones I've wanted to submit for. One year I did not participate in the holiday ornament issue because the year prior, starting in 2023, they started actually paying designers for their designs in the holiday issue. Prior to that, you participated and it was for exposure. So you did not get paid for your submission to the magazine. While the publisher openly said how successful the holiday issue was, how that's the most successful of the year, they weren't paying designers. So that year I had wrote them and I said, I will not be participating because you are not paying your artists. And so I didn't participate that year, but then the year after they decided to start paying their artists for design submissions. So I did submit last year. So I'm in the 2023 Just Cross Stitch holiday ornament issue, and I'm in this year's. So this year's, they also didn't just do ornaments, they have other designs in here. So I have been a big fan of pink Christmas or like pastel Christmas. So taking away from the traditional green and red and doing more of the teals and pinks and whites and creams. And so for that, I submitted this. This is my honey bunny, holiday honey bunny. So it's a bunny, a gingerbread cookie bunny. And I put a Christmas tree on top of her, and she's leaping into the holiday season. I finished it with Mill Hill beads on the top. There's Mill Hill beads, and then Just Another Button Company or all of the other beaded accents. I finished it, oh, I still have the sticker on the back. I finished it with a batik on the back. And I used oh great, the sticker is pulling the fabric off. So I used a metallic on the back. I used a Lady Dot Creates Rick Rack, and I put the two pieces together, and then I stitched it down, and then as I was stitching, I added the beads as I went. So that's how I got that effect. And then when I publish this next year, when I release this on my own, not through the magazine, I will be including that template to do this finish if you like this finish. I understand that pastel Christmas is not everybody's cup of tea, so of course change colors, do what you need to do to make it your own, or you can just say, you know, Amanda, I'm sick of your gingerbread designs, I'm not stitching another one, and I would be okay with that too. It's totally fine, you know, you do you, boo. So I do want to say though that this will be my last submission to Just Cross Stitch. I have formally told them that I will no longer be submitting, publishing, or working with that company anymore. They breached their contract with me 3 times, and you know, first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. Third time, come on, Amanda, wake up. They do not respect you as an artist. So as that, I will no longer be participating with them. But that's my design for this year. I really wanted to show you. I'm proud of it, and that's that. All right, I have some finishes. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Yes, finishes. I absolutely love Bent Creek, like love Bent Creek. I think that that company is one of my favorites. I've noticed that I have far more Bent Creeks that I've stitched and finished than any other designer. So I went onto eBay and I purchased this kit, and it came in this little baggie, and it is Smitten, and it's 25U or Z25, and it's the Valentine's Day, which I absolutely love. Valentine's Day. I love the pink, purples, pastels. I love. My kids are like, okay, Mom, we get it. You love Valentine's Day, but like I really do, and I love stitching lovey stuff. I love putting it up because there's not enough love in the world. Puggies, hey, I'm just talking about love and you're over there growling. I don't appreciate it. I will also say all my stuff is wrinkled. I didn't iron anything ahead of time, so please bear with me. All right, so here is my finish. I stitched it on all of the, I used everything in the kit that it came with. And what's awesome about Bent Creek is that they organize their flosses, put their numbers, it has the fabric. I went through and I always stitch my pieces down so that I don't have any like wandering threads or anything. So I use a serger if I have the ability to use a serger. So this is on like a 28 count natural linen, and then it uses pearl cotton. And that is the finish, and I love it so much. I'm not sure if I'm going to frame this or if I'm going to make like a flat fold stand up, or do like just a flat and then do the magnet on the back and then attach it to something that's all cutesy wootsy. So that is, I love it so much. So I started stitching this. I don't have a start date, but I finished it July 1st of this year. So this is my July finish. So excited for that. All right, my next piece. Do I have a finish to show you? I have an almost finish. Okay, I'm gonna show you a whip now because that's what's next. I've been working on this piece on and off while, oh, I forgot about this. So I took this piece to Wisconsin with me and I found some pictures. That's so great. I got the negative. I forgot I got the negative. That's my husband. He was in the Navy. Doesn't he look so cute? He's so young. So Veterans Day is coming up. So the kids are doing like a Veterans Day, like a salute to the veterans and stuff. So they're gonna talk about their dad. Oh, more negatives. See what I said about being disorganized here? Okay. I have this in just one of those little file thingies, nothing fancy. I'm using the Color and Cotton floss. As you see, I don't have a floss organizer. I'm using a hair tie. I know, very, very professional. I got this awesome needle minder at Market this year at Nashville. I want to say it was accoutrement. Oh, I forget, but it's a super heavy duty magnet. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And this is by Pedal Pusher. She came out with this year at Market. Barbie of Pedal Pusher. I absolutely love her stuff. It's so precious. So this is tomatoes, and I grow tomatoes, and I say that loosely because in my yard, I have it in a raised bed, and then I have a fence, and the groundhogs and my pugs still manage to get in there and eat my tomatoes. I know, so while I might grow them, that doesn't mean I actually ate any this season. So this is where I am with this. What I like about this design and this stitch is that there's a lot of solid stitching. So I've been able to do that, you know, not having to worry about counting. As long if I do the outline, I can do the solid stitching. It's got a really straightforward border, and then it's got the nice fun font for tomatoes. So this has been super fun to stitch. I did a color conversion of using just from my Color and Cotton Floss Club. Using those, I print a working copy of my work so that I can mark it up. And then, so I started this June 3rd is when I started it, and that's where I'm at. And it's stitched on a Serene, I'm sorry. A Picture This Plus Serene 32 count. I don't know if you can see the tag. Picture This Plus Serene. So I love this fabric. It is so pretty, and I'm really excited. So I'm hoping I will finish this, and I'll enter this into the fair for 2025. That is my hope. There's a lot of like these little pieces down here, like leaves and stuff. So the little fiddly stitches I've got to work on. But it's been super fun, and it's just one that I work on like when I can't. Oh, of course, I sat in the chair that's making the most noise. Excuse me. All right, so that's one with. Oh, here's another finish. So I have watched, I want to say, Cross Stitch on the Ridge. She just started Flosstube. I think she's got like 5 or 6 episodes up. She's a mom, and she's a crafter, and she's a scrapbooker, and she showed her finish of Beetlejuice, and she spray painted the frame black and white stripes, and it was so dang cute. So she told me in her video, she said that where you can get the Freebie chart, and it's Brianna Lentz here, if you want to screenshot that. So I had to go through her blog to find it, and she has the free chart, but I can't show you the model stitch because it was just the chart. So I stitched this Beetlejuice. It took me, I would say, like 4 hours altogether because I was just doing other stuff. I stitched it on the same piece that I finished one of my boo buckets. This I stitched last year, and this was from an Etsy seller. Again, this is a freebie. Can you two just shush? So this is by Stitch Fiddle is who it's by, Brianna Lentz. Stitch Fiddle, that her freebie chart. And then this is a piece of 18 count Ada fabric that I got on eBay. It was one of my first ever pieces of fabric I purchased, hand-dyed, over-dyed fabric back in 2019. So super happy with that. And I used Color and Cotton's fishnets. And this is the same one that I used for the boo bucket. And so I just used the same thread. I'm almost done with it. So there is that finish. I might enter that into the fair. So that's an official first finish for the fair I can do. Here is my, I love to work with working copies, and what I do is my clipboard, my standard clipboard, I have my super ultra big magnet. What are you doing? And that holds my scissors up here underneath that. And then I have a needle minder spot, and then my pencil, and then my clippies if I need to clip down my work as I'm going. So that is my how I work, and then I stitch in hand. Oh my gosh, I'm so close to a finish on this. I cannot believe it. I was hoping to finish it. What are you doing? Do you want to come say hi? I was hoping to have this finished by Halloween of this year, but I don't think I will. But if I finish it in time, I'll enter it into the fair for this next year, and I'll put 2025 as the year. I usually never put years on my cross stitch, but now that I'm starting to accumulate so many cross stitches that I finished, I'm like, when did I stitch that? Did I stitch that, or did I buy that? I'm like, oh man, maybe I need to start putting the year and my initials on it so I know and I remember. So this is Birds of a Feather. This chart is still available. I got it online at one of the online needlework shops. It was 123 Stitch. I ordered that. And their website, I'm not sponsored by them at all. But what I like about their website is that you can, a lot of the charts, you can say that you just want to buy the chart, or you can click to like kit it up, and they'll put all the colors that you need that are as charted and the fabric. So I just said, you know what, I want to start this kitted up, and I paid, and I got all the called for colors and the called for fabric. And this is what I'm stitching. I'm so close. I just need to finish the bottom and then add the year. Isn't she so fun? So the year is really big and it goes right here. And then she's standing on like a checkerboard bottom. So I'm going to do that. So I'm stitching this on the called for fabric using 2 strands. It's 58 by 172, and it calls for 32 count fabric, but they don't dye the fabric anymore because she's no longer, so they gave me like an equivalent fabric. So I'm not sure which one this is. So I love it. I love the font of the words. I started this September 17th of this year. And I'm so happy. Look at that little face. And so, oh, this side is going to be a cat. So I haven't filled her in yet. So the bottom, the cat, and the year is what I have. And then it'll be fun. Then it'll be finished. And it says, lost spirits do not embody me on this night of All Hallows Eve. And then you put the date. I don't want to be embodied by spirits, right? So that is an almost finish. I'd like that to be done, and then I can enter that into the fair. I will probably do it like on the other category. They don't have a specific Halloween category. They have like all other holidays, and I can click that. This is a WIP that I'm working on, and it is a kit that I got. This was from Country Sampler, and it is the Velvet Tangerine needle book. So it came with everything and it is just as it sounds, a tangerine slice. So this has been a really fun piece. I just stitch it and do fill in, and I've been working through that. So I'm using, it just has 3 colors on it. And I've just been slowly working on it. I'm stitching it with 1 strand, and I believe it's on a 36 count fabric. So that's been super fun. Just the 3 colors and solid stitching. And then I believe there's instructions here in the needle book on like how to finish it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I've never made a velvet needle book before, so that should be fun. The next piece I'm working on is a chicken piece, and I've been taking a break on this for a while. I didn't have a floss drop holder, so I used a kid metal accessory. Use what you got. This was a kit, Sweetheart, stop. Stop doing that. Again, I got this at Country Sampler, and I decided I'm not stitching the border. I'm just doing the center pieces here. And I'm using the Country Sampler colors for this. And this is where I've gotten so far with it. It's super cute. The little chicken house was super fun. So I'm halfway done with the interior piece. Again, I could stitch the border, but I don't want to. And that's okay. You know, you don't have to do it exactly as charted. So I believe this is with one strand. Yeah, it's with one strand over 2 linen threads. And it's been super, super fun. So it has that combination of full, like, stitching, like, for the house, but then also a lot of little stitches for the flowers and stuff. So that's been fun. I haven't worked on this in a couple months, but I wanted to show it to you because it's a whip. All right, the next piece I am working on, I think I'm going to restart it because I don't like the colors that I chose. This is a piece by Barbara Anna, and I was doing a color conversion. I don't like the colors that I chose. I got this on Creative Poppy as a digital download, and I love this cat. And it says Ultra Violence, and there's sardines, there's a bloody knife, and then there's a dead mouse. I do not like mice. I do not like rats. I don't stitch anything with mice or rats. So I haven't decided if I'm going to omit the mouse completely and just leave like just do that and leave the ultimate violence, or if I'll rechart this as a squirrel or something else, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do feel like I need to restart this because, again, the colors are just not showing up. Stitching this on a piece of 18 count Aida. I believe this is Cosmo Aida. I special ordered it. It came from Japan because I had a design in mind to a model that I wanted to practice on this before I charted something on the fabric. The fabric is lovely, but my colors are not. So I think I need to pick instead of the gray for the back piece here, I need to do a different color. And then I did a gray cat. It really should be like a white cat. So this will probably be a redo. I might just cut this out and then just make like a little pillow with just the cat face. But as of right now, this is probably a UFO. I was stitching it with a 12 weight Wonderfill thread, the spaghetti thread by Wonderfill, the 12 weight thread, which is awesome thread. I just didn't pick the correct colors, which, you know, sometimes in my haste, like when I just want to start a project real fast, I'm like, okay, I'll just grab it, and like it might be overcast outside, or I don't have the right lighting, and I don't give it any thought, and I just impulse start. That's what happens when I impulse start. All right, the next piece I'm working on is Anna's Bird. Is this a Kathy Barrick piece? Yes, this is a Kathy Barrick piece. Anna's Bird, and I love it. At first, I was just gonna do the bird up top. I was like, I'm not gonna do the whole sampler thing. I'm just doing the bird. Well, I started stitching down like I'm going to do the sampler. I might change the name or rechart the bottom with something else. I haven't decided that yet. I have to stitch this, or not have to, but I have been stitching this with my really good light on at night. And this is where I am at. I had to reorder an extra thread because I was almost out, and I might have to order more threads. But isn't that so cool? I finished the bird part, and I'm like, I can't stop working on this. I love it so much. So I love it. If I finish this, if I rechart the sampler thing and do that, I'll enter this in either the sampler category for the fair because it'll have the sampler component, or I'll enter it in the animal category because of the big bird. Both of those categories for the state of Maryland are highly competitive. I wish they had a bird category, not just an animal category, because I don't feel like it's fair for 15 birds to be competing against like koalas and horses and stuff. Like, birds are different. Birds are birds, not mammals. Like, anyway, that's just me being super nitpicky, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The needlework category, they have 110 different things you can enter into, that between needlework, cross stitch, hardanger, punch needle embroidery, stamped cross stitch, tatting, and lace. I think there's a lace category. At all of those, there's 110 categories. Like, that's a lot of categories, so I need to shut my mouth. Okay, I grabbed the book, but I didn't grab my works. Oh my gosh. All right, I finished a piece out of Max Pigeon's book. This book is awesome. If you have not seen this book, I did a flip through on Amazon on my affiliate Amazon page. I'll have that link down below if you want to see a flip through of it. Helen D also did a fantastic flip through of this, East Coast Crafter. She's fantastic. Love Helen. You know when you see someone online and you're just like, I would love to meet them in real life. Well, Helen is one of those people. And Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, like the wonderful people I want to meet in real life. And I got to meet them in real life at Nashville. So, oh, and I have not met Max, but he has been nothing but amazing on responding. Like, he messaged me if I wanted an advance copy from the publisher, and I just gushed at him. I'm like, you're amazing. I love your work. I'm so proud of you. You know, keep it up. You deserve all of the success and happiness. Like, I totally fangirled him, and he was very nice and appreciative. So I've already finished 2 pieces out of here. I did the Snow Queen, and I finished the bear, and I gotta go get it. I gotta go get it so I can show you. So I'll have to insert, I'll have to do the video in a minute. And then, oh my gosh, Jira. Oh my gosh, this book. Amazing. So my top 2 cross stitch books that have come out in the last year are these 2. Magical Cross Stitch comes close. I would say, so top 3, Magical Cross Stitch, this and this, are the top 3 cross stitch books that have come out in the last year. Highly recommend them. So Jira is one of my favorites. She is a Japanese cross stitch designer. You can find her on Instagram. She's got a freebie series going on right now of like the creepy, the folk characters, the folk animals of Japan. And it's a free like stitch along, and that is awesome. I haven't started any of those, but I recommend. I'll link her Instagram below. But I started this piece, which is the flying squirrel, and it is so amazing. I gotta go find my stitch. I don't know where I put it. Okay, amazing. So highly recommend. And Magical Cross Stitch. I also did a flip through of that. That is also on my Amazon. If you want to see a flip through of Magical Cross Stitch, there's other YouTubers that have done a fantastic job of going through that book too. All right, I have some purchases and some stitch plans here to show you. So the one and only piece that I purchased from the needlework, the fall needlework show, was this piece by Shaded Stitchery. Nori, she's amazing. Highly recommend her charts. She's so awesome, so nice. This is her tree medley, and I got the Fiber on a Whim parchment linen. It's charted in Roxy Floss, but I'm going to do a DMC conversion and then look at the colors from DMC and then probably pick from my Color and Cotton stash. So excited for this. I want to start this. I purchased these pieces on eBay. They all came from the same seller. I do not recognize the company that did it. It looks like Winter Stars on the back here. So I got a piece just for fun, just to see. I have Fabric Flair, who does the printed Ada and the printed, so Fabric Flair, but this is a different company. So I wanted to try that. So I got that piece. This is Blue Beach. I got this piece. And I got this autumn piece. Just for fun. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on them, but I got that. And then I went to the thrift store. I know, surprise, surprise, Amanda. And I picked up some quilting books and charts. So dang cute. I've never quilted anything like this, but I just couldn't help myself. So I got this one, Maggie Walker Design. It's from 2000, Summer's Inn, Dosh Hound, and Red Maple. I mean, come on, how cute is that? I got the Snowman Trio by Jerry Kelly. I'm not sure if everything is in there though. And then this moose chart. I've been on a moose kick. Oh my gosh, look at that moose. Moose on the Loose by Prairie Grove Peddler. And then I already have Barbara Lavallee cross stitch. I did a episode a couple years ago, the quilt shop in Alaska, Raven Quilting, Black Raven Quilt. I will link them below. The quilt shop, amazing. I've ordered multiple times from them. They carry the Barbara Lavallee quilt kits and the cross stitch, and it's awesome. I've also ordered all of her pins, her enamel pins, on eBay, and then made them into needle minders. The pins came out like in the mid 80s, but this is my first quilt pattern of hers I have. I started one of the cross stitches, and then a Minnesota Memories quilt, because I went to, my family's in Minnesota. I love that. Will I ever actually use these? I don't know. This book is really cool, Quiltagami. It's like origami, but for quilting, and it shows like different ways you can fold your fabric to make the 3D effects. And I want to enter into the mini quilt competition again for the fair this upcoming year, and the theme is quilters have other hobbies. So like, what other things do quilters do? Some people fish, some people cross stitch, some people crochet. So you can do a representation of what else you do as hobby wise. And I thought, since I have a swim pond and I'm really into gardening, so I was like, maybe I could do something with like a pond and fish. And what if I folded up little origami fish and then put that on the quilt? So that book was really cool for that. And then I got, with all the Krynic and the beads, I found this at a thrift store. This is my first Mirabilia I found at a thrift store. I am super stoked about it. I don't know what it's called. But I went through and I double checked, and they have, it's missing just a few of the skeins of DMC, but it has all the Krynic and all of the other stuff. Okay, this is called Mae's Emerald Fairy. It's number 56. I don't know if it's still in print or not. This is dated from the shop. It was sold in 2000. November of 2000, so I'm not sure. Mae's Emerald Fairy. I have never stitched a Mirabilia, but I saw this. It was in with like other scrapbook paper. Like sometimes at the thrift store, you gotta look, like they have like bag walls, and they put just the people who work there don't always know what all the crafts are. So they'll put like stamping stuff with painting stuff and just put it in a box or a bag. They had stickers and scrapbooking stuff in with that mirabilia. And the only reason I even knew it might be a mirabilia is it was sandwiched between a bunch of other stuff, but I saw the Krynic and then I saw the edge of this rose here and I'm like, I think that's a mirabilia. And I paid $3.49 for the whole bag and it came with scrapbook stuff. And then I got to open it up when I got home and she was in there. So I'm like, that's what I do. I gamble a little bit. If it's under $5, I'll gamble. All right, I am doing, these are my, what I would like to stitch stuff. My daughter has requested a horse themed tree for Christmas. She was really into unicorns and rainbows like me. She has moved out of that. Her favorite colors are green and blue and browns. And so we're going to put up a horse themed tree. So I went through my stash to find horse themed charts that I have, and maybe I can start stitching some horse themed things for her. This is not an ornament, but I want to show it again. This is by Little Robin Designs. She gifted me this chart. Look at that lady on a horse. I love it so much. This is all she surveys. Love that. The next is in my collection. It is this Horseman banner. It is designed by Deborah Fanasso of Historic Needleworks. And it was in the October 2020 issue of Just Cross Stitch. So it's like a little cowboy. So that would make, just stitching one of those would make a super cute little ornament. Did I say the right? Yeah. Yeah, the Horseman banner. And then I have this vintage Prairie Schooler book, A Prairie Christmas. And is there a horse on there, or did I just grab it because I love it? Yeah, it's got a rocking horse at the bottom here. So I might do just the rocking. I could do the horse and leave out the rocking part, or stitch it all like that, the rocking horse. This is book 10 of Prairie Schooler. And then this is in an old September, October 1991 issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. And this is a year in cross stitch. And they have a bunch of little smalls. And then right here is the horse. So I think that's super cute, and it's a weather vane, and I love weather vanes. So that this is on my absolute must stitch, is this little one. And then not moving away from horses, because I don't have enough hobbies. I think I should start sewing horse clothes. So the author of this book in the 80s and 90s also made horse sewing patterns called Suitability, which are super hard to find. But I found a couple of the patterns on Etsy, and I was able to purchase them. This book just tells how to modify existing clothing. I'm in the process of modifying and working on some of the English writing clothes right now. I know. This is on my to stitch list. It is the Nantucket Sister Sailor Sarah Elliott by Primitive Traditions. And I love the little whale down here. Well, the entire set is amazing. This is like a pattern, like big thing, but I love that little whale down there. So that's on my to stitch. And then I have this kitted up and I still haven't started it. This is the Strawberry Harvest by Cottage Garden Samplings that I want to start. And I have it all kitted up in one of my bags that I made with my little red sampler series, some of the charts on the back of there. So I'm going to go grab the other finishes I have. I'll be right back because I want to show them to you. I cannot find my flying squirrel pattern anywhere. I've been taking it like as my car project, so I'm thinking I might have left it in one of my cars. Hopefully I'll find it. I'm going to do a little video. I'll insert a video on this. The owner and cross-stitch designer of this company sent me one of her kits to stitch up and try out. And I am in love. So if you love cross stitch and you want a really easy to follow project that doesn't take forever to complete, and then it can be practical, so I'm going to turn this into a bookmark, then this is like the kit for you. So I chose the Seahorse kit. It came with all of the flosses. She arranged them all in the thread sorter, and then the chart itself is printed in color and super easy to follow. I'm not going to show you the whole chart. I'm just going to do like a little boop boop. So easy to follow. And she gives the instructions for backstitch and everything, and I could not be happier with the results. I love the vibrancy of the color of this seahorse and how it looks. And it came with different finishing instructions. This is Luna Moon Pug. She says, let me see what you're doing. So it said you can either hand stitch it around like this, like her model, or you can sew it up on the sewing machine and then place something behind it to thicken it for the bookmark. And that's what I'm gonna do. So here's the front and here's the back. It is an Aida, but the other thing that I really like about this project is it's not a 14 count Aida. I wanted to show you my process. I'm using 2 strands of the embroidery floss over 1 Aida square, and it's stitched up so nicely. And look at the bright blues of the seahorse and how beautiful that looks. I love, love, love this project. I highly recommend you try out one of her kits. You want seahorse. And then in that book, again, Cross Stitch in the Forest, this is the one I fully finished and entered into the fair for this year. This is the Snow Queen. That's Max Pigeon. And then I stitched and finished the bear. And I went ahead, I made some changes, and I showed this before with my fair setup. I did show my finish, but I want to show it again because I love it. So this bear, I went ahead and switched out all the colors. I did like a reverse of the colors. So this is Winter Walk. So he charted it in more of like teals and stuff. I went ahead and did a green fabric with more greeny colors than teal. And then because he used a white Aida, the negative space of the snowflakes on the trees, like it looks like the snow coming through. But that didn't work on a green colored fabric because it doesn't look like snow. So I went ahead and I filled in all of those with the white stitches. And then up top here, it's like a really light blue, like snow pieces. I went ahead and just stitched it down with beads, and I added extra beads to like really make this square, like so it's boom boom boom, like this is the piece start and finish. I love this so much. So this qualifies for this next year's fair. So this is going to be one of my fair entries, which will probably be the animal entry for this year. And then I finished this Beetlejuice. So far, 3 pieces that are finished that qualify for this next year. So fingers crossed on that. And my other stitches, my daughter went through the magazine, Just Cross Stitch, and she picked this one out for me to stitch for her. It is the Nordic Yuletide. So she wants me to stitch her that. So I printed out a working copy of that. And then my son really liked the Be Merry. So I printed that one out, Be Merry. And then A Quiet Place, the little stitcher, A Quiet Place. And Merry Christmas, the Polar Bear Wishes, Century Farm Stitching. So these are the ones that they picked out this year that they would like me to stitch from the magazine. So we'll see what happens. I am prepping a bunch for Nashville, for 2025 Nashville, as well as doing the home stuff and decorating and stuff and making magic and memories and all that good stuff. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me today and seeing all of my disarray and my cross stitch. I hope that you have a beautiful week, whatever that might mean for you, and just sending you lots of love. And I want you to remember that you matter and your stitching matters. Take care and happy stitching.